Okay, here we go. As promised, traditional Hebrew cholent. This is a Jewish dish. It's made on Friday night before the sun goes down. They turn their ovens on or their crock pots and they prepare everything. They put it into the oven or the crock pot and they leave it all night long until Saturday, and they can have a hot lunch. This is the Hasidic Orthodox Jews. You know, they can't turn their oven on Saturday, so you know they get by turning it on Friday night before the sun goes down, and then they can eat a hot lunch or a hot dinner on Saturday. All right, now look, this beef. This is the cheapest beef I could find. It's actually a product of Mexico. That piece of beef was $4.50 for that big chunk, which is, I mean, that's perfect. You don't want good meat in here. You want the cheap meat. All right, also there's onions and carrots. Now, I add a couple extra carrots because my dog likes to eat carrots that are cooked in beef stock. All right, he loves carrots that are in beef stock. So, you know, at the end, I take out the carrots and give them to him. Okay, there's the bone. Now, look, you don't have to brown this if you don't want to. Traditionally, it's made without browning it. They just put the meat right in there. They don't brown it. But I like to brown it just to get a little extra flavor out of it. You could also brown the onions, too. You could caramelize the onions. They give it a little more flavor. But I didn't caramelize the onions here. I just did the beef. All right, now here goes a half a cup of kidney beans, dry. And here goes a half a cup of navy beans that I spill all over the place. Hold on. They're coming up here in a second. There they go, all over. All right. It's important to spill some navy beans around. Okay, that's a half a cup of navy beans. And then I'm going to add in 1 full cup of lima beans, large lima beans. Now listen, the beans, you can do any kind of beans you want. You can do pinto beans. If you want just pinto beans, fine, just use pinto beans. You can use chickpeas. You can, you know, the beans are totally up to you. Also, you can soak the beans if you want. Now, traditionally, they don't soak the beans because this stuff cooks for so long. You know, this is in the oven for 12 hours on a very slow oven. So they don't soak the beans. They just put them in dry. All right, now there goes water up to the top of the crock pot. I think this crock pot is 1 gallon. I'm not sure how big it is. You know, it's the average standard crock pot. I don't know how big it is. I didn't look. I think it's 1 gallon. It might be a little bit more than a gallon, but it's not much more. Okay, there's water to the top. Now we're going to add some granulated garlic. I didn't have any fresh garlic, so I'm using granulated. There we go. Quite a bit of garlic. Crushed black pepper is going to go in. And then beef bouillon. I buy the beef bouillon it's like a paste. If you ask me, that's the best stuff. Okay, the salt is in the bouillon. All right, so you don't have to add any more salt to it. There goes the bouillon right there. All right, so what I have in here is onion, carrot, celery, the beef, red kidney beans, navy beans, lima beans, water, pepper, garlic, and beef bouillon. That's it. Now, there should be barley added to this right now. But the problem was I couldn't find any real barley. All I could find was the quick cooking barley. So what I did was I added this stuff here 30 minutes before it was done. So in other words, the stuff cooked for 6 hours. At 5.5 hours, I added 2 cups of quick cooking barley, and 1 big tablespoon of honey. Okay, so that's it. That's all that's to it. Now the barley should have been added back with the beans if I had regular barley, but I couldn't find regular barley. So, you know, I had to use the quick barley, which is no big deal. You know, it still gives you the barley flavor, which is important. Barley is one of the main ingredients in here. Okay, so there it is. It's cooked for 6 hours. This stuff is really good if you have some nice crispy garlic bread or even garlic cheese bread. You know, the Jews, of course, they don't eat cheese with the meat. So, you know, anybody who doesn't believe in that stuff can, you know, can have the cheese bread or, you know, whatever. This is a really good dish to cook on a cold winter's day. I mean, this stuff is perfect, man. It's really good in the winter. Now, what I did was I broke this into 6 packages and I froze it. So now I have 6 packs of this stuff. I can pull it out, heat it up. Doesn't get any better than this right here. All right, see ya. I'm going to eat.